work, an opera, a dance, it starts always, the first part to point a departure is a drawing. Often I'm using things like humour as a kind of a crowbar to get to talk about subject matter that can be quite dark and very difficult to talk about in an area of kind of taboo almost.
So this here is just some insight into the process of my most recent work, which have been these very small scale oil paintings encased in soldered frames. This was the reference I was using. I think it's called A Portrait of a Young Man, and I really liked it just for the detailing of the eyes. I loved how the eyes are rendered in it. And for me, this was genuinely an experiment. I wanted to see how the oil paint would react with the solder. There was a chance it could have caught fire. I was using terps, but thankfully it didn't. So I went on to make a total of 3 of these, and what you're seeing now is the first one. So at this point I was just figuring out how I wanted to render the eye, stylistic changes that I made from the reference, etc. And I really liked how it came out. So in the next few clips I am basically replicating 2 more of these, and I'm showing a little bit more detail of the actual process. When designing these pieces, I was directly influenced by descriptions of angels from the Old Testament. I find these really fascinating, and I just kind of wanted to do my own interpretation as a tester for these experiments. So I was particularly drawn to the seraphim. So here is an excerpt from Britannica detailing the seraphim. A seraph in Jewish, Christian and Islamic literature is a celestial being variously described as having 2 or 3 pairs of wings and serving as a throne guardian of God. Often called the Burning Ones, seraphim in the Old Testament appear in the temple vision of the prophet Isaiah as 6-winged creatures praising God in what is known in the Greek Orthodox Church as the Trision. Quote, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory," end quote, Isaiah 6:3. In Christian angelology, the seraphim are the highest ranking celestial beings in the hierarchy of angels. So that's just a little brief descriptor of the seraphim, and they were kind of loosely influencing these pieces. I think I took it quite vaguely, those descriptions, when making the soldered frame of the first painting, which is what I'm doing here. For the next one, I think I'd like to take it a little bit more literally and actually try and solder wings coming off the canvas. But I was really happy with the result. So here is a little sneak peek of some of the stuff I'm working on for my shop. That will be updated over the next week or so. It'll be a mix of jewellery with some oil paintings in soldered frames. I will have 3 of these. This isn't how it will be sold. There'll be one more component added to it, which are these teardrops, but blood teardrops, and they will be hung below it. But I just need to varnish those first before I add them, because I want them to kind of be glossy. So they're each individually hand painted. I used the same reference for all of them, but I painted them like without a projector, so each one is slightly unique. At the moment there will only be 3 of these sold. So these will be quite limited, whereas I think I have at least 10 items of jewellery. So I've been taking product photos of all the jewellery and the pieces. But yeah, just basically setting up my shop, because I really want to have a small commercial aspect to my practice as well, where I'm selling my relics, because my relics are part of my larger art practice. And I think it's quite interesting because I will be selling my paintings as well, like original artworks. But I think to start, the relics are a nice starting point. By their nature being smaller, they I think they're a bit more accessible. Yeah, I know myself as well, trying to support like fellow peers and other like emerging artists, that it is very hard to collect large pieces when you're only starting out yourself. Like, you're just renting a space, you don't have your own house, and even if you do, it's tiny, you can't fit stuff in. Like, it's genuinely not feasible for me to buy larger pieces from people I want to support. It's also good just for distributing my work out there and kind of getting my name out there, because these are also representative of like
my larger brand, my larger look, even though these are just I suppose a smaller commercial component of it. I'm excited to get that like up and running and to see people, you know, wearing the jewellery or having one of these hung in their house. So yeah, it's all exciting. I'm also wearing the earrings. I made 2 of the pendants into earrings as well, and I think they work quite nicely as earrings as well, like the necklace with the earrings. And I think at a point in the future as well I will be open to doing personalised commissions of these paintings. My thing with commissions, I was always very against the idea of doing commissions, because for me, I only want to paint what I want to paint. If someone says, can you paint a portrait of this person, if I don't like their face, that sounds so bad, but I only enjoy painting certain types of faces. By that I literally mean it can be any person, but I tend to prefer people that have fuller faces, like puffier faces. That's what I enjoy drawing, the shading of the volume in the face, whereas I wouldn't tend to be gravitated to people that have more chiseled features. I like when there's a puffiness to the face. And that's just my preference with drawing. Like, it doesn't matter what you look like if you just have a volume to your face, and especially around the eyes. I love hooded eyes. So they're little things that I like. And if someone sends me a photo of someone and they don't kind of fit that, I find it very hard to draw them. Not in terms of technically, but just in terms of the enjoyment of it. Where like things like that, when I'm painting, I never draw eyelashes on eyes. I don't like how it looks, and there are people out there that do it so wonderfully and it's so beautiful. I can't do it. Whenever I do it, it doesn't feel right, it doesn't match what I'm going for. And a lot of the paintings, especially facial features in traditional painting that I reference, are of the Renaissance era, and if you look closely, like, they're not painting individual eyelashes, and eyebrows are usually done very naturally and very bleached out, or sometimes they're just not even there. I like having these like overexposed, like kind of hairless faces, weirdly. That's also another thing. I tend to only paint women. I just don't enjoy drawing men, and I think it's totally for selfish reasons of when I draw, I enjoy drawing what I know. But if someone is like, okay, I'm asking for you to paint a pear, and I accept that it might have a bloody teardrop falling down it, or it might have a worm sticking out of it, then like, and they're okay with that, then that's fine. I'll paint them a pear and I'll really enjoy it. But I just don't like feeling trapped to like fit someone else's standard of what they want. Sorry, that was just like, it's so hard to explain. I don't know. I might go into it in more detail on another day, because I'm just not really speaking very clearly today. So, and I really need to go to the toilet, so I'm going to stop talking. I also now need to go into my university because I have some work in storage there still, which is really bad. And my work is kind of in a limbo stage where I'm half waiting to hear back from some awards that I applied for, and depending on if I get into them or not, the work will either be shipped off to be in this exhibition, or else it will be shipped off to its owners, its new owners, because the work was sold. But there's one painting in there that did not sell, but it's part of that original triptych that was in my degree show, and that I might try and get into an exhibition. So I need to get that out and bring it back here. Tomorrow I have a meeting with a curator, and I want to show her that painting as a part of like my presentation of work, including maybe my soldier piece, just in case it's only like a smaller work that she's accepting. But in case there's a chance I could put a big piece in, it's actually my Lilith Anadyomene painting, which was the center panel of my triptych for my graduate show. So that's the one I need to try and steal out of the university storage today, as well as use the printers and stuff like that. So I will bring you along. But yep, need to get that out, and I need to show that tomorrow to the curator. Also, just on a tangent, I am currently learning to drive. I'm 25. For many reasons, it was left very late for me that I'm not even going to get into, and basically I had to go for an eye test for my learner's permit, and it turns out my eyesight is just deteriorating, because I don't know if this is like a universal experience. I can't remember if I'm long-sighted or short-sighted, but basically I'm fine up close, I need my glasses for far away, for like driving, reading a whiteboard, those kind of things, watching a film. And I have asked so many times, should I be wearing my glasses all the time? Will I become dependent on them? Or if I'm not wearing my glasses all the time, will I be worsening my eyesight? And I was told both, like at different stages in my glasses. Like I'm wearing glasses since I was like 14, so like just over 10 years. And the overall consensus has always been, you shouldn't wear them all the time because you grow dependent on them. So I didn't. And it's like a running joke where I just don't see anyone and it's like, oh, Lara doesn't have her glasses, whatever. And now I went and got my eye test done as a part of my learner's permit, and I was basically told that my eyesight's deteriorated since my last test in October, so less than a year ago. Which, like, the optician was kind of like, girl, you haven't been wearing your glasses, like, what did you expect? And I was like, I didn't realise I had to be wearing my glasses all the time, blah, blah, blah. I just probably sound so stupid right now, so now I have to wear my glasses all the time. And not only that, when I got these glasses, I got them because they were the cheapest, and I was like, I don't wear them a lot anyway. And now I have to wear them a lot, and I sat on them. So they're crooked. Like that's how they sit on my face. Like, they're crooked. So I always have to like adjust them straight. Like, that's how they should be. But they naturally sit like this. It is like the worst situation. So I now have to like either buy new glasses or try and fix these ones, which is just stupid. And I don't really like wearing my glasses in general. I prefer how I look without them. But now I have to like wear my glasses more, which sucks. And I wish I got nicer glasses before. So this is where we're at. So these are my glasses, and they will show up more. They're literally like the cheapest silver frames you could get from Specsavers, and that's what I got. So yeah, I have to wear glasses more often now, which kind of sucks, but whatever. I have a meeting now with the studio I will be doing my residency with come October. They have a curator visiting, so I have to go have a meeting with her, show her my work. I don't really know how it's going to go. I'm trying to log like all my paintings down the road. So, I hope nothing gets damaged, but...
So, a small update, the meeting ended up being quite relaxed. I left it feeling pretty happy, but oh my god, it was like the windiest day on the planet, and my big long painting was like blowing everywhere, and I really regretted taking it, but it was fine.